Ewings. I feel like people haven't talked enough about this, but this first question presented by our friends at Prize Picks, the easy way to play daily fantasy. So you pick between 2 and 5 players and an over-under on their projections. You can win up to 10 times on any entry. And now that we got Championship Sunday, we've got some, if you're a golf fan like Dex and I are, we got all sorts of fun PGA events happening. We got the winter sports. You can run mixed sports entries if you would like as well. And you can help us out by using the promo code NORTH, and then they will help you out by matching your first deposit up to $100. You scratch our back, they'll scratch yours. You can have a good time on Prize Picks, the easy way to play daily fantasy, prizepicks.com and the Prize Picks app. So the Twins signed Michael Taylor, or traded. They traded for Michael Taylor. They gave up a couple pitching prospects for Michael Taylor, who's been the Royals' starting center fielder the last couple of seasons. He was with the Washington Nationals for a while. He was a 6th-round pick like 12 years ago by the Washington Nationals, and he's one of the best defensive outfielders in the game. 31 years old, going to be 32 when the season starts. And Dan Ewings asks, are the Twins just assuming Byron Buxton will get hurt again? Can you dive deeper into the why behind Michael Taylor? I mean, he does get hurt, so you do need a better 4th outfielder than Jake Cave. But what do you make of this whole thing?
I make out the fact of this entire thing that, keep in mind, last year, this time of year, they came up with a plan where they crossed their fingers that Byron Buxton could play 100 games. Last time I checked, there's 162. He didn't get to that. And I've been saying this for, I don't know, going back 3 or 4 years. You need another center fielder behind him who can basically plug and play. Jake Cave, Gilberto Celestino is a guy that I think they actually thought might be that guy, but he's not exceptional. Like, I think he's got some ability, but he's not exceptional at the fundamentals of baseball. That's a big problem. So, yes, this gives them now a guy who, when Buxton gets hurt, or think of this, when he doesn't play because Rocco and the Twins have decided it's a day off, when he DHs. Like, you cannot have a situation, knowing Buxton's history, where you say, let's just put Royce Lewis in center field. And look, I applauded that at the time. It was a disaster. He got hurt. But that being said, this goes back to, for me at least, it was the first time, and this guy, again, great glove, does not hit fantastic. The first time that Jackie Bradley Jr. was on the open market, I said, go sign a guy like that. It's going to cost you more, but he's a bleeping like Gold Glove caliber guy. So it doesn't go from Buxton just made this unbelievable catch to, and Jake Cave dives for the ball and it goes to the fence for an inside the park home run. So yes, this is definitely preventive medicine for what appears to be the inevitable. And I actually appreciate it.
Yeah, he has, but here's the crazy thing. So Michael Taylor, who won the Gold Glove, center field Gold Glove winner in 2021. So he has played 2,200 innings in center field the last 2 years. Byron Buxton has played 950 innings. So he's played more than twice as many innings in center field as Buxton. So I do wonder, a couple things. Could they, is Buxton just going to be more of like a DH who sometimes plays in center? Are they moving him completely out of center field? Because here's the thing, like, and not that Michael Taylor had a choice here. It was a trade. It wasn't a free agent sign. Michael Taylor is a starting center fielder. Like, not a great hitter, but overall, he's like a 2 or 3, he's probably like a 2.5 wins above replacement player because of his defense.
Yep.
Is he going to come in here and be like, okay, I'm just going to sit? Like, so if Buxton's healthy, he's going to play in center. To me, this is an orchestrated plan to either scale Buxton back to a completely part-time outfielder, like full-time DH, or they're going to just maybe move Michael Taylor to a corner spot. I think Michael Taylor has to be playing on a regular basis. I don't think he's like a play twice a week kind of a guy.
But I think he will, right? Like,
could you put him in right field or something and have this Buxton in center, Michael Taylor in a corner spot? You could do that too.
But Buxton has never done anything in his professional baseball career to gear us up for, oh my God, he's playing in 115, right? 130. I think he played in somewhere roughly that amount, perhaps once. So like I do when you are formulating a plan that says we hope he can play 100 games, like if you think that you're going to contend, you can't then just be like, we'll throw Celestino out there and hope. Like the days of hoping that Buxton's replacement will be decent need to be done. To me, that's malpractice at this point. So I like this.
Yeah, he's also been worth almost 6 wins above replacement over the last 2 seasons, and the majority of that coming from the defensive side of the ball. That stuff matters. Whether he's playing center and not Buxton, whether he's playing with Buxton. Obviously, I think there'll probably be some defensive replacements where you're going to have a legitimate outfield there. And the dude's played some postseason ball. Like he has actually played in World Series. He's played in playoff games. Yeah, he won a World Series with Washington. He has actually the one at bat he got with Washington. He hit a home run with the Nationals in the World Series. So he can play a little postseason ball. He's a perfect backup, viable option when Buxton is not able to play center.
Yeah. I just, I don't think you make this trade for him and then stash him 5 days a week as Buxton's healthy. So what they'll probably do is they'll probably start, my guess is Taylor plays more innings in center field scheduled, not like obviously if Buxton gets hurt, he'll play more innings. But I think they will schedule Michael Taylor more innings in center field than Buxton. But putting those guys in the same outfield at the same time, the Twins kind of did that back in the day when they'd have either Carlos Gomez in center or Span. And then for a while it was Gogo in center and then Span played in right.
Imagine it worked.
2 center fielders. And then you had Ben Revere playing in right field at one point with his noodle arm. But those guys were like, didn't they also have a center fielder playing left field at one point too? I feel like they had 3 center fielders one time.
In Target Field?
Yeah. I'm trying to think of who that would have been. If you want to go back 20 years, they had did have 3. They had Jock Jones, who used to play some center in right. You had Torrey Hunter in center, and then you had Shannon Stewart, who used to be a center fielder in Toronto, playing left. So, yeah, you want to create some number 1 starting caliber pitchers, or number 1 caliber starting pitchers. Put some badass outfielders out there and see their ERAs drop. Mm-hmm. I think this is a good time to ask Declan. You got an email from a Twins season ticket guy this morning. What's the excitement level? Are they offering anything now? Are they trying to pounce because of the Carlos Correa signing? What's the vibe here? Are they hooking you back in? I guess
a little bit of the latter. Yeah, my rep emailed me on Friday morning and asked, "Hey, Declan, we missed you at Target Field. The 2023 season won't be without you," in huge, bold, red letter text. The 2023 season won't be the same without Dex Tweets pounding numerous Surly Brewing products and using that discount code. And they say too, who do you want to be at Target Field to see? When Johan Duran's blowing 100-mile-per-hour fastball by, or Byron Buxton flashing the leather in center field. Which
do they put that in the email?
That's in there. That's in the email.
Well, the Buxton thing, though, okay. So Byron Buxton played, let's see here, flashing the leather. He played like 50 games, I think, in center field last year. So he doesn't flash the leather very often. He played 92 games overall. Probably, half of those were home games. So I don't know. They might need it. We were talking off the air.
Yep.
Could we help the Twins with a marketing plan here? If you don't know what you're getting, generally like what your price package is going to be. If Buxton plays in the outfield and starts, maybe you pay a little extra. All right. If he doesn't play at all, maybe you get a free beer or a refund or something. Can we have a Buxton flex plan?
You know what? No. First of all, it's a Buxton Correa flex plan.
Okay.
Because Correa taking the occasional Sunday home game off makes no sense. Weekends, Correa has to play. So, unless he's hurt. But here's what I think. I think the Dex plan on tickets should be pick a package of games. So, again, 20 games. If Buxton and Correa play, you pay full price for that game. If one of them sits, it's a discount. If both of them sits, it's free, and you get free beer all game.
Well, so you didn't even pay for concessions? I don't know if
I give him a hot dog. Give him a hot dog. No, I'm saying free beer. Look, if you go and Buxton and Correa are healthy and not playing, the Twins got to bend over backwards to help Dex here.
There was a point last season, I tallied it. I should probably just go back and redo it. But I had a 20-game package, and it was July at this point. So I had probably used, half of them. So I had been to 10 games. And only 3 of those 10 games were Buxton and Correa starting in the lineup.
Yeah.
Then you paid
Which
for 3
is
so far.
absurd.
Do the Twins have an obligation? So some of the Buxton missed days were just like he couldn't physically play anymore because of his knee or whatever. But then they also have some maintenance days, and the line is kind of blurred because his knee just hurt all the time last year. But I feel like they shouldn't schedule maintenance days for home dates unless there's like, oh, they're coming off 10 straight games or something, or it's the 9th game of a 9-game homestand, or if you're going to, at this point, just to get back in the good graces of fans, they had the lowest non-COVID attendance in Target Field history. Rocco should play along a little bit and say, all right, we get that you're going to rest him because you're trying to get him to 100 games, but you shouldn't be resting him on a Saturday night home game in May.
Maintenance days should never occur weekend home games.
Yeah.
Wednesday afternoon game?
Maybe.
Okay.
But even then,
Getaway day.
DH him.
Sure. But Correa's the one that offended me. When they would sit him, like, it's like, we got Carlos, and now, Carlos Correa came back. He loves it here. Well, actually tried to sign with 2 teams before he came back. But now that he's back, don't sell me on we got Correa, but he's not playing today. And to his credit, Carlos Correa plays a lot. Like Buxton, I do think that it'd be good to tie a ticket plan to Buxton, but he's dicey. Correa's not that dicey. He can play.
Yeah.
Despite what
it's just like there's almost no in the NBA. Hell, there's been Richard Jefferson ranted about this week about the NBA.
So right.
It's like,
He's
dude,
so right.
Ultimately, this is about the fans keep all of these leagues running on a regular basis. You can't just ignore the fan experience and home crowds and things like that. So, Greg in South Dakota here chimes in on the Twins discussion. I love your podcast. I listen to most of them in the car on the way to and from work each day. Thank you. To that, I ask, do you guys recognize the karma bestowed on you when you guys swore off talking about the Twins? In October, you guys vowed to not talk about the Twins the entire offseason because they did not live up to your expectations for making a qualifiable offer to Correa, making excuses for stinking in August and September, not having players that can replace injured players, making injuries an excuse, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Not trading away Correa at the deadline to get something for him. As a Twins fan since '68, I just have to giggle at the egg on your faces that the Twins have placed there by making significant moves over the last 3 weeks. Ha! I say to you both, keep up the great work, boys. Love listening to the shows. Tell Declan to re-up his season tickets because this team is going to be fun to watch. See you guys at Twins Fest. What's your response to? Do we have egg on our face for being bored with the Twins a few months ago?
Carlos Correa tried to sign everywhere but here. So no, like that's the thing. Last night at the awards that we went to, Dex, I thought it was so weird because like Correa's up there talking about, and he is smooth. I'll give him credit, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, you were talking about a guy that tried to sign with the Giants, who passed on him, and then the Mets, and whose agent at a press conference basically spent the entire time bemoaning the fact that his client wasn't allowed to sign with either of those 2 teams. Yeah. So no, there would be egg on our face if Correa had passed the physical and then like told the Giants, I got to go back to mini, as they call it. I love mini. But no. Now, I will say this. I do think that the way things have gone, the offseason has been pretty productive. But the bullpen ain't been fixed as far as I can see. So, no, I do not feel like we end up with eggs on our face. But I appreciate the note and the support. So I just want to be clear of that.
I would say, I don't know. I was kind of telling you guys off mic. For years and years and years, the Twins would buzzkill in the playoffs or have a 90, 99 loss season or something. Basically, since they got into Target Field, every year has been one of 2 things. Smoked in the playoffs with 0 wins, like don't even put up a fight, or completely underachieve in the regular season despite trying to win and coming up, 10, 15, 20 games short of the division. They have tried to win every year they've been at Target Field, and they have come up miserably short about half the years. And then the half the years that they do make the playoffs, they just get embarrassingly bounced by the Yankees or the Astros or whatever, right? But every year, for the most part, Old Macadac has been like sort of seething at the end of the season. This dang team. And then I get excited for spring training again, right? Baseball, I love baseball. I love everything that it symbolizes in the spring and the weather coming around and stuff. And the Twins, the Twins added a couple players. We'll see what happens, and hope springs eternal, right? It's been hard for me the last couple of years. There's something about this organization. I don't know if it's like there's like an arrogance about it. Sometimes there's a staleness about it. They try to blow smoke up your ass on Bally's and stuff. Like there's just like a protective shell around this organization that has failed miserably since coming into Target Field. Yeah. That I've had a hard time coming around the last couple of years compared to like the previous 10, I guess.
Yeah, it's a team that has lost numerous playoff games with numerous opportunities that have been there, and it eventually boils over for me. Like, is this eventually maybe going to happen with the Wild? Like, the Wild haven't gotten out of the first round since 2015, and they've been in the playoffs 3 to 4 times. Yeah. Is that eventually going to maybe boil over to the hockey team? Maybe. I've always loved the Twins the most since I started becoming a big sports fan when I was about 9 or 10 years old. So I always gravitated towards them the most. So maybe just by default, I get the most emotional and volatile around them. But yeah, I'm still like not convinced just because they brought Correa back that all of a sudden like, oh, here we come, playoffs, baseball. Like they could get to the playoffs. You have to win a game, dude. I am an insufferable human being when the playoffs start. Yeah. And I don't know how I'm going to react if they make it to the playoffs. So I need to watch this season play out. And then if it's worth talking about, we will obviously discuss it.
On Bally's, I will say this. As much as it helps us, coming up next, as much as it helps us if the Twins and Wild win, and I actively like Bill Guerin, I like the Wild. That being said, Bally's is so full of crap on those two teams that it turns me against those teams at times just based on the crap I'm fed. Now on the Wolves, that's not true. I like Jim Pete. I think he's great. He tells you the truth. He wants the Wolves to win, but that's fine. But on those two teams, the only time that the Wild telecast to me is not just full of complete crap in the booth, when Nanny's there, because he wants the Wild to win badly, but he gets upset, which is great. And Walls will tell you the truth at times. But beyond that, like when I have to listen to the absolute pandering to this team when it's not deserved, which is often, it turns me against the team. And I have to remember I want them to win.
It's a funny contrast because
nuts.
These are essentially team-run wings, right? It's if there's a financial partnership and they're very much in bed together. But then you have the Dallas Cowboys' own Twitter account filleting Dak Prescott last week too. So there's different ways to go about it. But yeah, again, I do think they have a chance to be competitive. I like the Michael Taylor trade. Mm-hmm. Byron Buxton is one of my favorite players that I've ever watched play baseball when he's out there. Carlos Correa is a really good piece. They have a solid pitching staff, it looks like. So there's some things to be excited about too, but I'm kind of in the mode of, all right, go show it on the field.
Right.
Go show it on the field. Let's see what happens. We will talk Twins as if you guys are interested in us talking Twins, we will talk Twins. But man, we literally had a daily 2-hour Twin show on SKOR North when we were doing more radio stuff 3 or 4 years ago, the Bomba Squad season, and that was driving our content on a regular basis. But the fan interest has become so apathetic the last couple of years, and COVID didn't help. Yeah. So, but we'll see. We're here. We're talking Twins. We just talked Twins right there for you.
We love baseball.
Yeah. Probably not renewing the season tickets.
Okay.
Probably not renewing them.
If they make one more big move,
send them my idea. Say, look, if Buxton and Correa don't play, I don't pay. If they play, I pay. And if one of them is out, I pay less.
You should negotiate with them. Yeah, send them a negotiation email. They're more desperate to get you than you are. It's not like the demand is high. Why don't you float Judd's idea?
I could play a little hardball. I could play a little hardball.
Just say, hey, you know what? I look forward to being back at Target Field in 2023, Mr. Ticket Rep, with the following conditions.
All right, we got to run here. Mackie and Judd, Feedback Friday. Thanks for hanging out with us, and we'll catch you guys over on Purple Daily. See you.